Hey everybody, it's Mitch James, and I'm hanging out right now with Mikey on the Random 30.
Be somebody who doesn't know when to walk away, but I don't want to be somebody.
Let's do it. Let's talk Mitch James, the brand new single, Be Somebody. We're going to get to that. Mitch, how are you, man?
I'm good. I'm good, brother. I'm in hotel quarantine, but I'm keeping very chipper, and it's good to see some human faces.
Let's talk hotel quarantine. What day are you at now?
I think I'm day 9 or day 10.
Okay.
I'm losing. Like I said to you just off air before, I literally opened the blinds for the first time in about 6 days for you, just to let that light in. So we're laughing. We're having a good time.
Mate, the lighting looks good, and I think you're ready for a little hashtag, but first let me take a selfie.
Yeah. You know, hey, look, this took a very long time to get this light perfect.
Yeah, I bet it did. What are we seeing out the window? Are we in Sydney, Melbourne?
Oh, we're in Auckland actually.
As
you see a lovely view there of the Auckland coastline.
Right. So I thought when I found out you were in quarantine, I thought you were here in Oz. So have you gone back and you've got to do hotel quarantine?
Yeah. So basically, I was in Oz, and I lived in Oz last year, and then I went back over to New Zealand to fly off to the States to do my album. Basically, as soon as I got to LA, 3 hours later, my manager texts me, and he goes, "Yeah, look, bro, you've got a tour that's just come through. We can't say no to it. You got to turn your ass around and fly back." So here we are in hotel quarantine. Yeah, it's a crazy life.
Oh no! So you were coming from the States and into New Zealand for hotel quarantine? Because I think from Australia to New Zealand, there's no quarantine for us now, is there?
Not anymore. Yeah. So if flying between Aussie and New Zealand, we're good. But unfortunately, that doesn't happen with the States just yet.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the airport for 3 hours.
oh yeah, it was beautiful as usual.
Cool. Well, we'll talk about that too, mate. Let's talk Be Somebody. This is an epic new song, man, that we're digging here on the show. Listening to the lyric, I'm feeling this is like a personal message about the stage of your career and your life. Am I getting this right?
Yeah, basically, I was with my first girlfriend. We were together for about 3 years, and we were together before I signed my record deal. And basically, the person that I had promised that I wouldn't become in terms of being away and prioritizing certain things before her, essentially, I kind of it eventually ended because like I said in the song, you don't want to be somebody who doesn't know when to walk away, and that sort of it had become that time where she felt she had to walk away.
Yeah.
And so I was on the other side of it, and I was just reflecting and being honest, and I was so heartbroken, and I just wanted to kind of make sense of it, and it turned into this song that basically I'm pretty proud of it in the sense that I feel like a lot of people can relate to this, whether they're and no matter what industry, if you're trying to put your career first, essentially, or put yourself in a better position, sometimes these things happen, as heartbreaking as it is. So I thought people would relate, and it's definitely a real one, and I can feel it when I sing it, that the emotion definitely comes out.
It's very interesting when artists write songs and we can, as listeners, can relate to songs so well. For you as the artist who wrote the song and performing it, do you think that it's affected you in a great way where you've understood what happened in the relationship and how you can move forward in the relationship because you've expressed it, and you've expressed it in music instead of, say, example, a counselor or some therapy?
Yeah, well, 100%. And I always say that music is my therapy.
Yeah.
It's songwriting for me is how I make sense of things. And, like I'm not the sort of person that looks in the mirror and goes, "Oh, you're just so perfect," and like it's all her fault or anything like that. So, it's just a very honest reflection of how I got to that stage in my life a couple of years ago. And yeah, it's like I said, it really does help me, make sense of things when you
Yeah.
feel the finished product and you see people connecting with it. And when people connect with it, that's when I really go like, I'm doing my job right, because that's what you're after. In a sense, what I'm really searching for is that mutual connection with people through the music. So I'm hoping that it does connect.
And this Be Somebody, this isn't attached to an album yet, is it?
Not yet, but I'd imagine it would be the first single of an album process. I'm working on getting this next album done. So as soon as this tour is done, I'll be back over to LA, and I'll get that done. Hopefully, get the next one done also, and then another 14 days, baby.
What games are you playing right now in quarantine?
I'm a big Madden guy. Big Madden guy. Yeah, there's only so much Madden a man can play. You know what I mean?
You're not even
doing boring.
Not even doing Angry Birds or Candy Crush?
I think I might have to at this rate. I might have to wind it back to what's that, Temple Run and all that kind of.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Keep your phone charged for that stuff.
Yeah. Get the iPhone 3G ready to go.
Oh, giddy up. I want to ask you too about Sunday Morning.
Call me, yeah. You're a saint, I'm a sinner, but I guess that I'm good enough when it's 3 a.m. and you're lonely.
On this, mate. What do you like Sunday Morning? Were we talking bacon and eggs and hash browns and everything else?
I wish it was about that. To be honest, I am a big fan of the combo. However, Sunday Morning was just about basically after that first relationship finished, which is, I mean, the timing's a bit off considering now I'm releasing Be Somebody after Sunday Morning, but Sunday Morning is basically about after you're in a relationship or whatever and you're trying to get back out into the field. There's time wasters out there, man. You know what I mean? There's people that I'm a romantic mama's boy, so I'm looking for love, but not everyone else is.
Oh wow! All right, God, a mama's boy. You don't tell too many people that though, do you?
Nah, just public interviews and stuff.
Yeah, awesome, mate. Awesome. And 28 stations, 3 million people. There's nothing wrong with
that. No, nothing. No shame. Open book.
I love that. Mate, where do you find your inspiration? Of course, personally as well with Be Somebody, but where else do you look? Are you looking at family? Are you looking at friends? Are you looking day-to-day experiences?
Yeah, I mean, just anything that inspires, really. Like, I have a song that I wrote for one of my friends called One More, which is about him and his partner's journey of infertility and having kids and having miracle kids in the end and that journey, and just anything that makes me feel something, like hearing my friend's story about, it was essentially like a 10-year journey to having his first child and being able to chronicle that, that inspired me. So just anything like that is real, and that I feel like other people have their own journeys, like I wrote a song about a miscarriage that I went through with someone, and, like seeing people, join the dots with the lyrics and know what it's about. And they message me or come to me after a show and go, hey, like, I know what you're talking about there. I know you're trying to hide it in the lyrics, but, I've been through that, and it helps. And all of those things really make this, this life of being on the road and not being able to have a normal life. It makes it all worth it for me, those kind of stories.
How do you find it when you write about something like that and the people can relate so much to what you're writing about? How does that make you feel, going that you're just writing this song, and like that would be hard, surely? It's just understanding that these people who unfortunately have to go through the way they do to have a family, but you're writing about it, like, that's so hard, surely.
Yeah, I think in all honesty, I just I try and just let it all go and let the real emotions flow. And sometimes it doesn't hit. Sometimes you'll think you're trying to channel something and it won't work, but other times when it does work, it's just a really magic kind of cycle. Because, like I said, there's no other feeling for me in the world than seeing people connect with this music and knowing that my struggles or my stories can help people, and that's what really makes it magic for me.
Yeah, Wow, absolutely outstanding, man. Well, you said at the start of the chat that you ended up over in the States. You've come back for a tour. Are we just touring New Zealand or are we coming to Australia?
I don't have any Australian dates right now, but
Yep.
I can guarantee you that within the next sort of 6 to 8 months we'll be in Australia and rocking some shows. So I
Yep.
couldn't be more excited. I haven't played any headline shows in Australia yet, so
Yeah.
I think it's about damn time.
How do you even go on stage and on tour and on that when you actually supported one of the biggest artists in the world back in, I think was it 2018, Ed Sheeran, the Divide tour.
Yeah.
How do you just go on stage and just be Mitch James and this is my show after that?
Yeah, well, to be honest, I remember I stuffed up a couple chords in my first song when I was opening for
One job,
Ed.
mate. One bloody job.
Yeah, 40,000 people 3 nights in a row. I mean, I was, I hadn't released my first album at that stage, so that was like that was a big introduction to shows. But like I cut my teeth busking and open mic nights and small shows, and like at the end of the day, like it's really just about getting up there, losing all inhibition, and just
Yeah.
being. And so I learned that pretty quickly on the Ed tour, that you have to just be. And I just try and take that good energy and leave all the anxious energy
Mm.
as soon as I get on the stage, and just really give it hell. And yeah, I think that's probably what I'm most proud of in terms of my whole like musical career or anything, is when I get up on that stage, I just really let it fly. And I think that's why things are working for me.
And what did he teach you through that moment?
To be honest, Ed's taught me a lot, and like I'm very grateful that I can hit him up and ask him for advice, or ask
Just
him what he thinks
just
about
pick
this
up that
song or that
ticket you
song.
dropped there, eh?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, it really taught me. If he's taught me one thing, it's humility. I think I was expecting.
Yeah.
I've met big names in the past, and a lot of them, they let you down, and they say never meet your heroes, but Ed was the exception to that rule, and
Mm.
he was such a down to earth, humble dude. Loves a beer, loves a chat, and is just a real guy. So
How
all
good.
the rumors are true.
Yeah, how good is that? I want to take you back to something you just said just before, and I think I read it. You was home. Were you homeless busking, trying to make it, or there
Yeah.
was a situation there where you were in a struggle street?
Yeah, so basically, long story short, I sort of fell out with my family when I was about 16,
Yeah.
17, and I got kicked out of home, and I was on my own, and being a little rascal or whatever. And actually I went to an Ed show. I scrambled some cash together to get to an Ed show, and I went to it, and I left, and I was like, man, I can do that. Like that
Yeah.
it was super inspiring. So I kind of took it a bit too literally. I followed his blueprint, went over to the UK with a £20 note in my pocket, and I spent it on 17 or 16 quid on a hostel for the first night.
Yeah.
Got a couple bottles of water and a Sammy, and started busking the next day. And yeah, I mean, I had
Wow.
periods where I was crashing on friends' couches. I had an au pair job for a month, which I got pretty quickly fired from. But yeah, there was a bit of sleeping on the street. And
Yeah.
when I was in New Zealand, there was a lot of sleeping in my car. And yeah, I never really let the dream out of reach, because I knew I had the passion for it, and I would have liked to think that people connect with what I'm trying to say. So it's still just part of the journey. And like I feel like in the past, maybe people in New Zealand at least, they kind of thrashed the homeless thing a lot, and
Yeah.
it's not what defines me, but it was definitely a really interesting and a crucial part of my journey for sure.
Well, it just shows that no matter, and the same thing with that, in the connection with fans and people who enjoy music in general, like listening to a story like that, you may go through a tough time, you may go through something that's so horrible in your life, but there's always an out, and there's always the dreams, and you just if you just keep working at it, it can pay off. And a prime example is you, man. So good for you.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I'm a big believer in saying you can't beat the person who never gives up. So
Yeah, exactly
that's what
right.
I've sort of based my life on, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, nice, man. Well, the new single Be Somebody is out right now. Mitch James, thanks so much for hanging, dude.
Absolute pleasure, brother.